Oh,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Footprints of Faith and Chaos podcast. I have a slew of guests with me, and I am so overjoyed. I'm so excited to have everybody here with me. We are going to have a freaking blast of a time tonight. So, I'm going to introduce everybody. And so, first of all, I have Jonathan Lacey sitting next to me, my husband. He's joining us for the first time tonight. I have Eliza Kerrigan, and she is our youngest sister. I have Chloe. She's number three sister, and then Emily is number two sister. So, guys, I have my whole crew of sisters and my husband. Look how lucky I am tonight. And they're shaking their head because that's how they always are. But I'm so excited. Um, and it took a little bit of convincing to get everybody in, and we communicated and we're able to all join in on this evening. So, welcome everybody. And if you want to say hi, feel free.
hello.
Everybody's so awkward, but it's fine. All right, guys. So, this evening, we are talking about what it's like growing up in a really large family. Obviously, there's us four girls, and we have John here to share his perspective of what it's like coming into such a really big family, a tight knit family. Both of our parents are one of five, so there's a lot of extended family. And then our grandparents are one of seven. Both of our grandparents from my dad's side. My mom's dad is one of 12, and then my mom's mom was one of three. So she was the smallest family of them all. So, and then John's family, John is one of two. So just some perspective of kind of where we're coming from and everybody's family size. But um, so for me, I know I'm taking the spotlight a little bit here, but I just kind of wanted to start and I'll share um, kind of what it looked like growing up for me in a really large family. And then we'll go on from there, and you guys can chime in and how you feel. And if you think differently or if it felt differently for you guys, just like, again, chime in and let me know or let the viewers know. But for me, growing up in a really large family, so I am in the middle on my mom's side of what, 14? Is there 14 of us on mom's side? I think. Oh, nobody knows. Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then I think that I'm the oldest of 16 on my dad's side, and then John and I have the first two great grandbabies on my dad's side. So I think perspective more being a part of dad's family because they are so tight knit. They do everything together. We had family nights and dinners together growing up. Holidays were always huge and everybody was there. There was tons of kids running around. I think
We all
growing
live in the same town.
up, what was that?
We all live in the same town.
Yes, that is like a fact that everybody should know is like we all live in the same town, most of us on the same street. So all 16 grandkids at one point in time could like almost walk to each other's houses. Like that's how ridiculous it was. And then the
Hmm.
grandparents were just the same, walking distance from us. Um so perspective of that. Um for me, like I was saying, like I felt a little overwhelmed because I feel like you have family members like just so locally. They were in the school system, they were in the fire department, they were like in the local, like you could not walk anywhere and not know somebody. Like you can't go to a single store or gas station without like somebody saying like hi. And yes, it's a small town, yes, but like for me that was overwhelming and I like wanted to get away from that. Did you guys feel that growing up as much as I did?
Yeah, I did definitely.
For me, I feel like it was a little like on the same page but different because I also had two cousins that were the same age as me. So everything was the same. I had graduation with them. I was in class with them.
Mm.
I had, I mean, literally everything was just together. All of our friends conjoined as one big group. So as far as that, like if Danny, so to say, one of our cousins had a friend, then it would also be my friend, or like something like that. So definitely a lot more people I knew from my family. Like you were saying, like at a grocery or gas store, like even if it was Danny's friends, they would always be like, "Hey," or even like the parents would always be like, "Hey," like. So coming from that aspect of having three of the same age was you always knew everybody around you.
I can imagine.
Like sharing all of that. I know we're so
Yeah.
like the top of the 16. We're like the older, we're the oldest. There's Lexi. Lexi is in between Chloe and Liza. But other than that, we're the oldest on that side.
Yeah.
And being again in the same town, my mom's side is a little bit more spread apart. We have some family in Virginia. We had family in Maine for a while. So that too, their family was tight knit, but definitely not as close as side of the family. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's like coming from like a really large family. Um,
Right.
so John, coming into that and kind of just sharing, like you've seen the perspective of all of us, like we cannot go to a single store without bumping into like at least 5 people. Like we call my dad the ambassador because he just knows everyone, and he's gonna get on me for saying that, but he just like talks to everybody. My dad is such a townie, and it's
Mhm.
hilarious. But what is your perspective of coming into such a large, tight knit family that does like everything together?
So I believe, I think it was like the first time you had told me like when like your all your sisters were coming down because I think Emily was getting ready to move to Virginia, and so I remember you telling me like, yeah, like my family we're really close, um and it was so funny because just seeing like you guys like the immediate family, you guys did everything together, and I think yeah, it was Deerfield Fair. Like when I came here, you were like, yeah, and they're like, just be ready. Like like everybody is going to be here, and I was like, all right, whatever, man. Like, I'm not worried about that. But coming up here and just seeing how everybody like you could not take and mind you, just to put in perspective, guys, of how big this fair is. This fair is probably like oh man, like probably like miles. When you say miles,
Yeah.
yeah, like miles long. And you cannot take, I feel like, more than 100 feet without running into somebody that you know, and stuff. And it was always, oh yeah, I've seen you on Facebook, and I and I'm like, I don't know you, but all right, like, but I think it's just cool because I feel like that says a lot about you guys' dad, because he obviously there has been such a significant impact by the Kerrigans where like if you hear that last name, it's like, oh yeah, like you don't know, like they're good people. Like I know,
Yeah.
like they're very, they're very active in the community, and Derek, Mike, Pete, like all those,
Julie.
yeah, Julie, John, like all those guys, So it's just been really cool though. I think coming from such a like a family like where it's just my dad, mom, Ashley, and I, like it was just the four of us, but coming to you guys, it's 4 sisters, with mom and dad, and it's been cool just seeing that unique experience where I feel like when I first met Eliza, she was, I think, getting ready to go into 8th grade, and now she's a freaking freshman in college right now, which is nuts. And then
That's crazy. That's crazy.
yeah, like Chloe was, I think she was a junior. I think she's going to her junior year, I believe. and then Emily had just moved down,
And she
so,
just graduated.
yeah, and just graduated, right?
Mhm.
So like, I feel like I've been able to see like almost kind of not
Growth.
like just grow, kind
Yeah.
of grow with you guys, and I think it's been so cool just experiencing that.
I think I was graduated 2 years.
That
Sorry. Anyway, continue.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, like, having John come into the family as the youngest one, like, I've known him almost as like a brother, because like I've had, I mean, almost just about half of my lifetime with John being the youngest one. So
That's
like,
easy
Yeah.
to think about.
I didn't like grow up with him, but like he's been a huge part of my life because he's been like through my high school, through start of college, and also just being like such a big role model like makes him a lot more like part of my life also with like sports and everything else. So like you guys were a little older knowing John, but as someone younger knowing John, it makes a big difference also.
I appreciate that. I really do. Like that actually means a lot.
See, feel the love, everybody.
Mhm.
I think it's really, really cool. Like, there's a couple of points I want to make. I think it's so cool. Like, it's evident. Like, we are tight knit. My sisters and I, we have really solid relationships. We are super supportive. I had to beg Chloe to get on here and be with us this evening because she didn't want to, but she
Rolls her eyes.
enough to come up here and be supportive and be with us. But you know what? We are so lucky. We're so lucky to have that relationship with each other that, you know what, at any point in time, any time of day, I know that I can call any one of you and you guys will pick up and you'll be there for me. And that is so freaking special that most people never experience in a lifetime. And we freaking have each other, which is so cool. So I want to give like flowers to mom and dad because they're the ones who taught us and trained us and built that type of relationship in us to have that with each other, which is really, I think, something special.
Right. If I could jump on that, unless you have more to say.
No, you're-
But she and her husband obviously live in their own home, and I'm also married. So we're all in different walks of life, and we all have different experiences. But like Rachel said, we all still have that ability to call each other up at any time and any moment. And, as we all pick up, and even if it's like, hey, can a text and says, hey, can I call you? And it's like, well, I can't talk right now, but can we call at 6 or something like that? It's always like we don't like to drop the ball on each other, even if it's not something that we could do right away. And it's like we care about each other enough to make time out of the day for each other.
definitely.
To jump off of that, in college and stuff, like I always am like getting texts from you guys or whatever, and mom and dad, and people are always like, "Why do you text your family so much?" Or like, "Why are you guys so close?" Or like, "Why do you go home every weekend?" Because I have, but it's just because of like not only that like I miss you guys, but like we just do so much together that it feels like weird to not do all of that stuff. We're like fear of missing out. Like I don't want to miss out on anything. Like that FOMO.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think I pinned it down to Aaliyah. I mean, it's just like you don't want to miss like even just like a family dinner, something as simple as that. Like you see sometimes I FaceTime and it's like, oh man, like I'm not there and everyone else is. Like just because of how close we are, like it does stink. I mean, obviously it's happened to all of us and we'll get through it, but like not a lot of people at college like realize that, like how I guess like close you are and stuff like that. So and they don't have that either. So it's like definitely special and like meaningful that we do have that and we can have like that person to like lean back on or go have a night out with or something like that. So
Yeah. I know Nathan, when we first started dating, and even just when we in our beginning of our marriage, he had a very hard time understanding the FOMO of I wanted to be part of everything. You know, I've learned as, you know, a married person, sometimes you have to miss out, but I get that too because it was very hard, you know, learning to be a married person and also still wanting to be very much part of my Kerrigan family.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Sorry,
makes
Liza, if I cut you off.
No, that totally makes sense because ultimately, I mean, so one of the points that I wanted to make is now being a mom and having two of my own and bringing my two into our family. Like, I have such a support system with you guys and such a support system. Like, my kids do not go to daycare. They stay with their Nana, my mom, and they stay with their Mimi. Their great Mimi, actually. So my
Yeah.
dad's mom, and they stay with their great aunt Diane, which is so freaking cool. So I am lucky enough to have family close enough where my kids don't have to go to daycare. I don't worry about them and where they're going or what they're doing or if they're being cared for and loved on. And that's so special. So being on this side, I can say like the biggest thing for me is like having so much support in my girls. I mean, the second we hit my mom and dad's, they're like running because they know, like we get onto the road and Allie's like, Nana, Papa, Nana. She's like
Man,
hyperventilating and she
She-
gets so
she does.
excited to see you guys. Like, and she gets over the moon and like that's so special because that kid feels so loved.
She prays for you guys every night.
Oh, I know. It's so freaking cute. So we here at our house, we every single night we do the same thing. We do like her VeggieTales devotional book with her. And then John and I alternate. We'll take each one of us will take one girl upstairs and we'll pray with them. And Allie's at the point where it's so funny. We say, Dear God, and we say, thank you. We say, we love you. And then I said, Allie, who do you want to pray for? Nana, Papa, aunties.
Yeah, it's auntie. Like,
Nana, Papa.
Mm.
Amen.
Mm.
And it's so freaking cute. But like to be prayed for by a child and like that innocent, like God knows whatever is going on in your lives, that little girl is praying for you every night. And how special is that to know that your niece like loves you guys so much that she prays. Are you crying, Eliza?
No, I'm just a mess right now. My eye's so itchy and I'm trying not to itch it.
It's just really cool. It's really special, and there's something super special. She prays for her Yaya and her Poppy and her Auntie Ashley, John's family too. But it's just really, really cool, and we are just trying to instill that and instill in how important family is. And yeah, it's just, and I hope that Allie and Amaya will be as close as we are one day. And like their friendship, and they'll be able to call each other up and hang out and go play bingo. And Chloe and I actually work together. Like, it's not very often that siblings get to work with one another, and we work so
Can work
well
together.
Power duo. So that's super, super cool. I can definitely say when I lived far away and missed out and missed some of like your childhood, I'm so grateful to Jonathan brought us back to be back and be a part of you guys' life and be a part of like all of you were saying we do something literally every single month. Like there's some tradition, there's something that we go to every season. We have literally something that we're doing, which is pretty cool.
To jump off that, kind of like when you said there's a tradition, that even the new tradition that we have for Christmas is really cool, because like anytime I tell anybody about it, everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool." But
we never did ours.
I know. We still need to. We will probably once Liza's done softball. But wait, I have to tell them what we do. So what we do is we partner up siblings. So this year it was me and Rachel and Chloe and Liza, and we do a dinner and a game night. So it's a game night with a dinner, I guess is how you want to say it better. But you pick out games, you pick out prizes for the winning people and for the winning teams, etc. And you make the dinner, you make dessert, and it's just a really fun night of just doing stuff, and it's so cool. But yes, we definitely need to do it. We had a day planned, but it got canceled.
Dang. Yeah, I
It's
didn't
not our
realize
fault.
until now.
It's not our fault. It's Dad's fault. Dad had something else with one of our cousins and Jonathan. So it's Dad and Jonathan's fault.
Guess wrestling was way more important than our
I'm just
Christmas night.
look. I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? And so
Definitely guilty of going to that also.
Yeah, like,
we said we were going to get her in the ring, and actually,
oh,
I'm going to be her manager.
that's hilarious.
Oh, psha.
I'm gonna go.
Go, let's go. Go, let's go.
I have a question for you guys. I'm gonna get serious. So we've said so much about the positives and like how great it is coming from a large family. Are there any like cons or things that you wish were different or that you could change, or like just maybe not the great side of coming from a really large family? Anybody have?
We forced them to do podcasts.
Shut up. Chloe's in on that one.
Yeah,
Chloe, I love you.
yeah, thumbs up emoji.
I think I would say like maybe like a privacy part or like something like that. Like
Everybody
if I
knows
would only
everything.
want to tell like one sister something or talk to them, like it's not gonna only be one sister. It's gonna be all of them, whether I like it or not. So,
You're
or
not
even
wrong.
mom and dad, like I can't talk to just my siblings without mom or dad being like, "What's up?" Like, "Hello." So, I mean, I think that comes into play because, I mean, everybody knows everything. I mean, my aunt could come in the next day and be like, "Hey, what's up with this?" And I'll be like, "Huh? You know that
Shannon
too?"
does that all the time.
So,
That's why I stopped
Shannon,
telling people
Shannon,
things.
calling you out.
Whatever, it happens, I guess.
You know what? Aunt Diane knows a heck of a lot too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Aunt Shannon and Aunt Diane know my whole life.
She's nosy too.
Well, I think that's I don't know, but does that come from the Justins? I think it comes from both sides because both sides are nosy.
Oh,
I know
okay.
somebody particularly in this group of 4. Yeah, Rachel. Rachel,
Why is this
when
nosy too?
I moved to Virginia and
Oh,
lived there for a year with Rachel. And Rachel and Jonathan were dating at the time. Jonathan was getting ready to propose to Rachel, and Rachel, we went on I planned this, or was that the day that I planned the fun thing? I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
we went and did this.
our date.
Yeah, we did this fun thing. We went it wasn't snow tubing because there was no snow, but it was like a tubing thing.
Snowflake.
And
Liberty.
Yep.
yeah, and we were going up to go down the tubing area, and Rachel was hounding me about what Jonathan's plans were, and literally made me cry because I felt so bad because I'm terrible at lying, and I wanted to keep Jonathan's trust, but I was so having such a hard time not saying things.
Rachel is ruthless. All right.
She is.
When she wants to know something, guys, she is.
It's tough.
People always ask me where I get it from, and I'm throwing your name right under the bus.
I learned
And I'm
it from
throwing
Rachel.
Becky in because that's like
She is too.
nosy.
They all are.
Nosy.
They really are. That's why I said we got it from both sides.
Becky, I know you're there too. If you want to chip in, feel free.
That
She's
cracks me up.
definitely with Chloe somewhere in that background.
That he cracks me up because anytime we're whispering something, what'd you say?
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh.
But no, like
It used to make me so angry when we were younger.
Oh, but I think that that's like facts, Liza. I feel like you're spot on that. Like,
that's
and I think that that's what bothered me so much as a young person is that like
Mhm.
everybody in the community knew my life story, and I was like, I
Yeah.
just couldn't be my own person because everybody knew everything and everybody knew my whole life, and I just wanted to be my own person. And
Right.
I think that is hard.
Yeah, I still struggle with that too because so we grew up in a really big church, but that church ended up having a lot of splits and stuff like that. And my current church that I go to, there are actually a handful of couples that used to go to the church that we used to go to, and one of somebody that I'm really close to who we grew up with will sometimes introduce me as Emily Smith, aka Emily Kerrigan, if you know that family. And I'm like, okay, but now I'm kind of my own family. I mean, I love that you know my family and that's awesome, but it's kind of now I'm my own family. I want to be known as Emily Smith. I want to be known as me and Nathan, not Emily Kerrigan, because that's not necessarily who I am anymore,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's
fair.
such a perspective of like getting married. And then like that could be a whole nother podcast is like being married and then becoming it's on my list of podcasts down the road. Becoming your own family and becoming your own.
Mhm.
And I think that that's sometimes hard is like having such a big family. Everybody is so supportive, but everybody has an opinion.
Oh yeah.
And we have so many opinions that sometimes that can get overwhelming when you're just trying to figure out what to do with like what's right, and it's just like so many opinions. And for somebody like me, I am like that type A, like that firstborn, and like what they say really really matters to me. So like it just plays in my head over and over and over and over and over, and then I get
Mhm.
so overwhelmed and I'm like, oh, and John can attest to that. Like, it's really hard with like so many opinions from family.
Mhm.
That's really hard to do.
No, yeah. I go back and forth. Sometimes I really care. It really depends on who it is. But I think growing up in the family too, I am not type A, I am type B, but I've kind of learned, to just kind of put things in my pocket and be like, maybe I'll take that out later, maybe I won't. Sometimes I do get more angry about the fact that somebody said something. It's like, you know what? You can keep your opinions to yourself. But I never voiced that because I'd rather keep the peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
But go for it. You look like you're going to say something.
Oh,
Emily?
me?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget.
I mean, coming from a big family, a large family is really awesome. You can see we're all, like I said in my first podcast, we're all just chilling on our own beds, couch, whatever, just having a great conversation. I think that, I feel like we come in as which is pretty cool. What else about being from a large family should people know or feel, or like what else can we add to give depth to this large family concept that we're talking about?
I guess I should have asked oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I've talked a lot. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, as far as like the support system, I know like we've talked about like being there for one another, but I feel like we've talked about more like inner like family events or something like that. But like even if you like Chloe and I played softball, Rachel, Emily played track, but like it's not only just your parents who go to those type of things. It's like it's everybody. So like I don't want to use the word like supportive, but like I guess that's it. Yes, but no, because like supportive I feel like is more of like a enclosed like word almost, but like it's they don't have children
Was
even
like
going
our
to the
family.
school. But like they'll still be there and they'll still be cheering you on. Like, I mean, I was at every single softball game. I always have the most fans. I have like a freaking crew in the back. I
You're
mean,
rolling
at
deep.
least 12 people at each game. Like, crazy amount. Friends, family, like, just it's unbelievable to see just the crowd of people who are there to just be not only supportive but just like just
Cheer you
know that
on.
they're like there for
They're
you and
present.
cheering you on and stuff.
Yep. They're
So,
present
which
in
is
your life.
nice.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think a piece to add to that is that again, mom and dad have instilled on us people that don't have family or like a big friend group. You will always see us like our holidays have people that have nobody. And we
Mhm.
always and they we call them our adopted family. We have Roscoe, who's really important to us, who's come in and has been like a grandfather to us girls. We have Owen, who comes in, who's been adopted. We have Linda, who's been adopted, and name any others if you can think of like older folks that have come in and been a part of our family. But I think about over the years, like mom and dad, again, were so involved in the community. And I know that they were the softball commissioners and were involved with the town and coached different sports throughout our childhood. But anytime like one of the girls or one of the kids didn't have like a good home life or a good family, they would come and stay with us and we would make them feel so welcome. We would bring them as part of the family. And I definitely, it's so funny. I catch myself like listening anytime somebody at work is like, oh, I don't have anybody or I don't have anybody. I'm okay, come on over. Like come to Thanksgiving, come to Christmas, like come get ice cream with us, like come get involved. Like
Mhm.
I think that people are so special. And you know what? So many people in this world are so harsh and don't give a crap about other people. And I think that that life lesson that mom and dad have taught us that people are so important and just to be that shining light or that hope in somebody else's life, I think is such a critical lesson that I don't want to take for granted, but I hope that that will carry on through our girls.
Right.
I mean, Emily, you've had different roommates that you've taken in who really needed help and support, and you didn't have
Mhm.
that. But I feel like we take in broken people all the time. And not that we're trying to fix them, because we want people to come who they are. We're not judgmental. We'll crack jokes on you. Like there's no doubt about that. You're gonna get the
Yeah,
jokes.
if you're not getting, yeah, if you're not getting cracked on, then you should be worried.
Exactly. But we are a family that you come as you are. All are welcome. Black, white, Asian, whatever ethnicity. I don't know what else. Hispanic.
Whatever you
Gingers, Nate.
Gingers. Oh, well, he's
Italian,
only half ginger.
you know. And you know what? Just let us love on you. Let us love on you and treat you with kindness, and that hospitality is so cool.
Mhm.
I have a kind of a story, and it's I think it kind of just woke me up from that though, and just really being able to I don't know, just kind of just see how welcoming this family is. My first time
I have a
meeting.
question.
No,
Is it the Hershey Park story?
yes, yep, it sure is. Sure. Well, not that one, not that one.
Oh, okay. Never
maybe,
mind.
maybe after telling this one, maybe I'll tell that.
Circle back around.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But
Okay.
I remember, like I've coming from my family, like, and again, this is not me. I'm not trying to crap on my family, and again, like I love my parents and stuff, but
And your sister.
Yeah, and I love my parents and my sister, but
Don't
like,
forget
but
her.
no, like I'm not. I think before, my dad had a big scare and stuff. My dad and I, the only thing that him and I really connected on was football, and that was part of the reason why I only played, because I just wanted to connect with him. But he dabbled into alcohol and stuff, and he was a heavy drinker. So like my family and I, like, we were just kind of like, I don't know, we just almost existed. We existed in the house, but we just coexisted, right? So I remember going to with her family to Hershey Park, and I just remember my whole time, like my walls were up, and I was afraid to like just let them in, and coming from the family that I grew up with, because I don't know, seeing how loving this family was with each other, I was just like, all right, I said, this is weird. Like I didn't see it. I don't remember ever seeing this and stuff. But then I just remembered there was something, I don't know, like I just remember I just kind of just poured my heart out to Mom, because you guys were on a ride and stuff, and I was chilling with Mom, and I was just like,
weren't you both crying?
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys came back to after we just finished, but I was just told her, I was like, I said, I just never had somebody go out of their way to try and make me feel this welcomed. And, just like, you don't even know me from a hole in the wall, but I say, you've literally just opened your arms up wide and just taken me in. And it really meant the world to me and stuff, because I don't know, it was weird. It was weird for me, but I think that was just me, like, really accepting, like, hey, this family is willing to take in anyone and everyone, and it doesn't matter, like, if you're a crappy person, then yeah, like, all right, like that's a problem, but like, these people, like, they just want to open their arms up, open their doors to anyone, and I am thankful to be married into this family, and just being a part, of you guys' life, and just having you as my sisters, and I love you guys. So,
We love you too.
Out story.
Yeah, So to kind of come out of a dark hole with this, on the way to Hershey's. So I remember we were in Hershey, but to get to our Airbnb, we were out in the middle of nowhere. So like, for people that have seen Jeepers Creepers, just think about that. All right, like cornfields.
It was Amish country.
Miles and miles of just fields.
Cornfields.
Even
Literally.
I was like, where are we going?
We just kept taking turns.
We're going like up and deeper and deeper
into the freaking cornfields.
And up, because we were on a mountain, like a hill or a mountain too. Yeah.
And I remember, we stopped somewhere, I think, to get I don't know, what was it like?
Wasn't it like bakeries, or like, wasn't it the Amish?
It was a farm stand. There was a little farm stand with corn and melons and stuff.
Yep. So it was a farm stand that we stopped at, and I looked at Rachel, and I was like, yeah, and mind you, this is Get Out had just came out, all right? So I looked at Rachel and I said, is your family trying to pull a Get Out on me? Or like, I said, what is going on?
Am I gonna make it through this trip?
Yeah, I was like, and is this where it's going?
Oh my word.
And they
deep into the woods.
Yeah, like
deep into the cornfields.
Yeah.
Into the cornfields, yeah.
It was just crazy though. But I remember I
the fact that we all remember that story clear as day.
Yeah, because I told Dad, I said, yo, I thought you were gonna pull a Get Out on me, man, and he was dying.
It was a nice Airbnb though. That was so nice.
It was creative.
It was wicked nice.
Very unique.
They had a big dog.
Yeah, they did have a big
And good
one.
food.
Their food was amazing.
Mm.
But
That was a good trip.
but there's like absolutely
That was
nothing.
really fun.
If you're wondering what Hershey, Pennsylvania is like, there's nothing out there.
Until you get to the actual park.
Right, other than Hershey Park. Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's all Amish and corn.
Yeah. Horse and buggies, like that's just how it is.
We thought we were gonna see a tornado. There was such a huge storm.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was like the last night we were there. It wasn't there like thunder and lightning, and then like all of a
Mhm.
sudden the winds like picked way, way, way up, and we were driving back.
we could we
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
pull over.
crazy.
We had to pull over because we couldn't see anything.
That was like what, almost 5 years ago now, right? That trip.
2018.
Something like that,
I was
yeah.
gonna say I was going into my
2018.
freshman year.
Yeah, it's
So,
2018.
It's
Crazy.
insane.
5 years
John and I will
back.
be married for 5 years at the end in August, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Nathan
I
and I
missed
will
my
be married
first-
3 years at the end of this month.
That's kind of
Yeah,
wild.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's-
Chloe, what were you saying?
As I say, I missed my first couple of days of senior year to go to John and Rachel's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hey.
Liza missed the first days of freshman year for their wedding.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Speaking of anniversary presents, Jonathan bought us Usher tickets.
I saw
I
that.
saw
That's
that.
awesome.
Chloe crashed Neo. I got Usher. I mean, come on.
I don't listen to any of that, so you guys have fun.
Oh, side note. That'll be another podcast, all the R&B music that I listen to.
Please.
Yeah. No. That's all. That's all it is.
But what a fan bam, guys. Like, I just really appreciate you guys coming on. Is there anything else that we kind of want to add or share or I don't know, just throw out here for the people to kind of listen in on? And
Chloe, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say Liza sucked at playing Barbies when we were growing up.
Eat dirt, eat dirt, eat dirt.
We used to make her
Me-
Barbies eat dirt, and she was not good at playing Barbies. So
Me and
we
Chloe
used to
were
get in
not good at
trouble for not
including her
including her.
either. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I was grown up with so many people above me that I have absolutely like no creativity, no imagination, like anything. Ever.
And I don't know how.
Always had people to play with.
Me
So
either.
You had us to play with
No, I don't want to play
If-
with y'all.
when we included
But
you.
you guys included me the one day out of the 7 days of the week.
Chloe and I played a lot together. I think we have the most imagination out of the four of us. Rachel,
I
I'd
think
ask you to
that-
play Barbies all the time, but you never wanted to play Barbies with me. You read to me though, which was really good. I always remember and love, like, that's why I got Allie the
Magic Treehouse.
Magic
books.
Treehouse books, because you read those to me.
I did. I think one of my favorite books that we read together was The Secret Garden.
I was just thinking that. The Secret Garden, yep.
I love
Me
that
too.
book. That one's a solid. Yeah, I read to
I was gonna
Addie almost every night.
We should do another one podcast sometime on like birth order because I think the imagination and stuff
Yeah.
goes along with that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, just different
So-
stuff like that. So
Such a good segue. So this is the very first episode in my family series. So I have like a lot of stuff planned that has to do with family. And I'm gonna invite you guys back on if you had a lot of fun and want to do this again. Chloe, you did have fun. You even chimed in a little. But yeah, so birth order and kind of like our thoughts and personalities and like all of that sort of stuff. I would love to share and talk about that because I feel like birth order is such a real thing. And I feel like exactly, look at everybody. We are all to our birth order. Chloe's goofy, just like number 3, carefree. Liz is like excited and ready to go. Em's just chilling. And
psych is my thing. Teaching and psych. I mean, come on.
Birth
What did
order-
you say, Liza? Psych?
Psychology. It's my
psychology.
thing.
Oh. Got you.
So, yeah. So this is again part I guess episode 1 of the family series. Just growing up in a large family, and there's going to be a lot more to come. Birth order. I think I'm like another one is like generational trauma. So that could be.
Lord.
But yeah, be careful with that one.
That's gonna be a
Just
long
real-
one.
What's that?
I
What'd you
said
say?
that's gonna be a long one.
Stop.
I can sum it up in 5 words. It's fine.
OMG.
Oh gosh.
So just like yeah, so I just have like a couple of different things in like the families. But ultimately, as we continue moving forward, my goal is to talk about families and relationships, and like children and being a mom and like all of that. So again, I just want to thank all of you guys for coming on here and being vulnerable and sharing and talking in front of the audience and people who are willing to listen. And I hope that you guys come back and join. I said this last time, but guys, a great way that you can support me doing this, and if you really enjoy what you're listening to, is by subscribing. It's completely free. It just means that you'll see our content once we hit 1,000 subscribers. I start making money, so that's super sweet, and YouTube pays me and you don't, so that's super cool. But again, thank you so much, Jonathan, Liza, Chloe, Emily, for joining in on this episode of the Footprints of Faith in Chaos. And we hope to see and talk to everybody really soon. Say bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.